Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Melika. I am going over what I think has happened because it is what has happened, but I'm also using my experience of what has happened to determine now what is going on in my life. So bear with me here, this is story time. In part one of what has happened, I ended up where I was speaking about how Peter and the brethren from Zimbabwe put themselves in better rooms in the campsite, and we ended up sleeping in the stable rooms. So in the stable rooms, as we were sleeping there, we ended up kind of late. We were late for church because we were there. But we didn't run out of water. We always had water, we had food, we had everything. We were just not in the better rooms, and we were certainly far, far away from Jeff and the brethren who came to South Africa, coming from the first world countries. So the brethren from Zimbabwe were the ones who were next to the brethren coming from first world countries, and we were the ones sleeping in stable rooms, kind of hearing from them and seeing them lead us. When they did that, after the camp meeting, after the meeting, in fact, it's not the camp meeting, we had a meeting within the camp meeting talking about the conflict between Peter and I. And this was based off of me being made head of kitchen by Clayton. So after that, now I was restored back into the kitchen, but my restoration was not well received by me. It wasn't well received by me. And this is something that they didn't realize because they didn't put my emotions into first place. They didn't care. They don't care about how I feel about stuff. They thought, oh, she's restored back now. She's so happy. She's where she wants to be. No, I didn't receive it well. Because the fact that Clayton called me to go to the hotel, I didn't ask for that. But he probably saw in the group that I was active and decided that he wanted to collaborate with me. And so he did. And then he decided he's going to make me head of kitchen, and so he did. And the motivation behind that, as he says in the meeting, is that if I couldn't cook, as Peter was saying that, what if she can't cook? And Clayton says, and if I couldn't cook or I can't cook, then he was going to cook because he can cook. So clearly Clayton was trying to form this friendship and this collaboration between me and him in order for us to do our work in the kitchen and collaborate with other brethren to do that work. But Peter was a stumbling block to ensure that his marriage with his wife becomes the leading role in that kitchen, even if he didn't pay for it. So I didn't appreciate the restoration. Being this type of person who is, I give up very quickly. And I think Satan uses that with people who work with Satan to say, oh, she's just gonna say, then you want it, then you take it. Because you ill treat me anyway. Or you treat me so badly anyway. If you want it, oh, just take it, because I don't want to be treated so badly. So that's the type of environment and that's the type of behavior they wanted from me. They're kind of forcing it from me. Oh, if you want to be head of kitchen, just be head of kitchen, because I don't want to be excluded by you. If you want, it just, yeah, you can become one, just be one, because you're the better one. You can form groups and groups of people to bully me. You're the better one. Well, just take it. You can be head of kitchen. You can just take that role. That's what you deserve, because I don't deserve it, clearly. But I didn't get there because I knew that they didn't care about it. I didn't receive it well, and as a result, I kept quiet. At night, I would go and I would put the oats there and soak it up, and in the morning, I'd go and cook the oats alone in the kitchen. And if Jeff comes, because he knew that I would be very early in the kitchen, he would come and just give the jam and give the butter, and he would just be kind of just a bright light, I guess. He was just very nice to me in the kitchen. And he would just go and sit down and wait for the food to come. To show that the brethren from Zimbabwe couldn't even read my emotions because they didn't care about me. They come and they say stuff like, "Oh my goodness, your spaghetti." Now I've cooked spaghetti with my friend. They say, "Oh my goodness, your spaghetti. It is so lovely. You can dish up the spaghetti. Let make sure that the spaghetti goes to the people who come from first world countries, the better people, because this one, the spaghetti, they cooked spaghetti while I was cooking spaghetti too, and I just left them to do whatever they wanted to do, because when you do what they've done to me, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to just leave them, see what they're gonna do. Oh, they're gonna waste money. Oh yeah, just leave them. Let them do what they want. They want to waste food. Or just leave them. They're gonna do whatever they want. So I cooked my spaghetti. They cooked their spaghetti, and they were clearly happy. And when they were dishing out, they saying, "Oh, you don't come to our spaghetti. This spaghetti is for the other people. You dish up your spaghetti so pretty. It's so pretty. Wow, such lovely spaghetti. It's so pretty. You go and dish out for the people who are coming from these better countries, Go and dish out for them." And Clayton went and took their spaghetti because he was saying, "But this is the spaghetti that everyone's getting. Why are we gonna be eating your spaghetti?" And I just kept quiet. I just kept quiet, and I was just watching what they were doing. I was just taking in what they were doing. And that was at that camp meeting. From that camp meeting onwards, I wasn't getting along with Botman. I wasn't getting along with Peter. I was just so quiet. And Stephen was really trying to be nice, and he was really nice, genuinely, I guess. And so was Odilio. But I just felt like, oh my goodness, it is so, I was so annoyed and so irritated and very hurt and kind of reading what exactly is going on here. At the end of the camp meeting, they gave me spices, and the brethren kind of just went the night before. And since they went the night before, they had bought bags and bags, 5 kgs, 20 kgs of flour and rice and meal. And they left with all of it. And as they left with all of the food, they just gave me spices. Oh, it's just the spices that's left. We couldn't even have breakfast properly because there was no milk. They took all of the milk. They took everything for themselves, and that was on Peter's command with his wife. And because they deserve, they probably need more food. And we clearly, because I was a student, as I'm a student still now, I clearly didn't need any food. So that was okay. They did that. And when they did that, I was like, okay, I took the spices and I went home. I took the spices, I went home. It's okay. I mean, why should I feel so hurt? Why should I care about my emotions? I should worry and be concerned about Peter and his wife and not be concerned about my emotions. And I think I just shoved it away, just like, you know what, I'm gonna go back home and I'm gonna get over this, because Peter is probably a guy I'll never meet again in my life, and I don't know, but I don't think I ever will, because he's not my friend. So from then on was the pandemic, and the pandemic brought a lot of peace in my life. Peace to live alone, peace to do a work. It is so hot here outside and I'm sweating so much. Peace to do everything that I want to do without thinking about brethren and the movement and what's going on. So from then on, um, my life moves forward, and I start to realize that my relationship with Clayton is a friendship. And so I'm texting him and I'm calling him, and he's texting me back, but he starts withdrawing, and I don't see that he's withdrawing. He's no longer texting me as much as he did before, and no longer cares so much to know me now. He's withdrawing, and I don't know why he's withdrawing from just talking to me generally. So I'm talking in the group, and I'm talking to him, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, yeah, buddy. And only to find that, no, my honey, we were about to get snuzzled by this guy because he fried me. How did he fry me? In 2020, oh, this all is happening in 2020 as a matter of fact. Around May, I save up his photo from Instagram and I post it on my Instagram account and I put a heart under it, and only to find that there's spies or whatever it is that was going on. But knowing that he's a programmer, he could have just seen it himself, I don't know. So I posted on my Instagram account, and it didn't even just stay there on my Instagram account for a week. It was like midweek maybe. And Clayton's already texting me. He sends me a text and he says he doesn't like his photo on my account. Something, and then he says a lot, I'm so evil, I'm so wicked, why could I take something like that, I'm unconverted, and it's like, it doesn't say I'm thirsty, but he wants to say I'm thirsty, I'm so desperate to be with a man, and I'm so thirsty, I'm so wicked, I'm so unconverted. Okay, fine. So I'm so confused what is going on, and he didn't even stay a day after he sent me that text, and he's kicking me out of all groups because he was made admin. As he was made admin, it's because of his tech background. Jeff was the admin in those groups, but because of his tech background, his father gave him the kind of powers to be the leader of groups in the sense of admin, to take people out and put people in and stuff. So he takes me out. And when he takes me out, I see Jeff has also gone out of the groups. And now I'm wondering what is going on. So I stay for a little while, kind of watching what are they doing in the school of the prophets. And who comes up as a first preacher? Peter. Peter comes up as the first preacher. And the same Peter who was calling me Satan, who was fighting with me, he comes out and he's the first preacher. And what does he preach? He preaches nothing that has to do with the prophetic message. It has nothing to do with Nashville being nuked. It has nothing to do with the destruction that we're looking ahead on. He just comes in and he's preaching like he's preaching in Adventism. And I'm like, wow, Peter, well done. Once again, I mean, who knew that Peter wanted to rise up in the place of Jeff? Because I didn't know. Because he probably saw Jeff there and he thought, my goodness, that is a place so desirable, he could rise up and become Jeff himself. And that's exactly what he did. Because he was the first person who preached there. And so I decided, you know what, I'm not going to look into the school of the prophets, because after that was the preacher, Guy was a preacher also, and other people were preaching and they were sharing these messages to try and comfort people off of them seeing that Nashville wasn't nuked, and the prophecy that had a worldwide extent didn't happen. So after this now, what's going on? After this, I'm out of the movement, and I keep going to an Adventist church. I keep going to Adventism, but during the pandemic, I just kind of stopped going to church because I didn't want to go to church. The churches were closed, so I just kept going to Adventism, and I'm wondering what is happening in this movement. Then On the 1st of August, when I was just studying, I had these messages of my own. And I think this is where God was establishing me and giving me confidence in the messages that I do believe in. And when I had messages of my own, I had these three predictions: the prediction of the Taliban insurgency, the prediction of the civil unrest, the prediction of the second coming. When that happened, then I think I was like just moving alone, and I went kind of knocking. I knocked at Bronwyn's door. I went to her on a WhatsApp. I asked her, "Do you still believe in Palmona?" And she clearly said she unfortunately doesn't believe in the studies of Odilio and Stephen and Jeff anymore because Nashville didn't happen. And I was so, so sad. I was so sad. How could you? How could you not believe in what we've been studying for so long? She doesn't believe, and she didn't believe in it. And so I'm sharing with her my article. I shared with Daniel Fontenot my article, and he comes back to me and he says, "What foolishness is this? To even think that you would think from Africa would come out someone that God is going to use to lead in this time period. What foolishness is this? What bombings? Bombing civil unrest? What the heck? That is not something that is biblical. It's not something we should look at as prophecy students." And so that's how they split with me, even as individuals. So on an individual basis, I don't have brethren in Just Movement, and as a movement, as a group of people, they're not with me, and I'm not with them. Okay guys, this is part 2 of the storytelling. If you like more content on this, you want to know what has happened, like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I will continue and complete this in the next videos. Okay guys, goodbye.